What is up? I want to go over some of the recaps today. Overall, hold on. I did not trade today, but apparently we do see something in the market. I don't know why I have this 5-minute gap. I was looking at that last night. But coming into the day, I'm pretty sure since open, yeah, you really only would have caught a continuation today, but apparently it was an A+ continuation. And we can get into that. I kind of just want to even look at it. Higher time frame. Where do we go to? Yesterday I was bearish, and we didn't get that move. Like I said, we had failure swing lows, which was in this area when I was trying to short back down to that, but we continued higher to sweep, go higher. Don't know what we're rejecting off up here. I really don't know what we're rejecting off up here. And I know there was no news today, but we get just this big move up. We don't sweep anything. Maybe, probably an S&T actually. I would assume it's an S&T of some sort. 3 p.m. What high is this? 5 a.m. high. I don't even think it sweeps out. Yeah. I think we get an S&T or something because we reject hard. We come all the way back up. We don't come into that daily fair value gap that we've been wanting to see get hit, which it's like maybe next week, hopefully. Wow. What a move down. Probably going for that daily now, which, like I said, I didn't think we wanted to leave this behind. This is just beautiful to see how this market's moving out. If you wanted like an idea of that too, and just like looking at it on a technical basis, is you can look back from the videos I've made this week and talk about how we have this daily left behind. I want to see this get tapped and push us lower, and then this one's completely invalidated, but we have this daily to target, and just fair value gaps in between here. 1 hour here, right? And all this low resistance, which I thought FOMC was going to give us. And it's looking like we are getting that. So today, you get that big move up coming into market open. Do we come into any fair value gap or what? 8 a.m. opens, we come into this fair value gap. We end up respecting this fair value gap, but I'm going to mark that out. That works. We have this 1 hour fair value gap that we end up respecting, right? We end up getting what? Oh, well, we can look in the market open. Once we sweep liquidity, you would be seeing that, hey, the higher time frame is bearish, right? The higher time frame is bearish. So this is something that can really improve your win rate. And I'm going to show you a video on this in a second, is trading with the trend. The trend is your friend, right? And I'm a reversal trader. I look for the MEC and like a PDI for a reversal, but also when we sweep external range liquidity in the higher time frame is like, let's say bearish, it's probably a better chance to increase your win rate if, like, let's say we sweep external lows and it's sell side and the higher time frame is still screaming bearish to us. Okay, maybe we want to trade from this. How do we want to go like for more external draws and liquidity? How do we go from there? When we go back to internal and we go from internal to external, we want to see that, right? So we can go on to the 5-minute coming into the day. I think that'd be the 5-minute. Oh yeah. Hold on, let's just go find the video real quick. We can go to PB, or would it be in here? Oh, is he live right now?
It's good too because you can see if you're in a time discount.
I'll get the hell out of here. Maybe it's here. Nope, that is not it. I think it's probably on his YouTube channel. No, I want to go to. All pretty good videos from this week, by the way. How to avoid taking low probability inverse fair value gaps. 12-11 live trading session homework example lesson. Trade breakdown A+ discretionary trade. No trade today. Nice. 1205 trade recap journal. Trade recap. How how-to journal, all in the last week. Terrible views, but I'm not really worried about that. This is for me. 51 videos. Damn. All right, Bionic NQ. And this is it. Let's watch this.
Recap today, I literally just banged this shit. It is a A+ setup. Like, this is actually about to be such a good recap. Before we get into it, I do.
This is going to do a lot better than me, but we can go over it after.
Tradify, Alpha Futures, and Chronos funding. The code is BNQ on all of those firms. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Obviously, high time frame. You can see that we are just starting to dump out of this, right? I did want this daily gap all the way up here, but I just kind of accepted the fact that we're just not gonna go to it, bro. Like, we're just rejecting it constantly. We had an SMT up here, right? You can check out ES at this point. ES now SMT at the highs, so I'm just really not, looking towards that. And instead, I'm gonna trade the trend. What I'm doing currently? Well, what I saw is that we're respecting bearish, disrespecting bullish, right? We went to this 1 hour gap, obviously rejecting off these highs and that SMT, just continuing this trend. So all I'm really looking for is a short, because why would I be long in a clearly bearish trend?
Hold on, I'm going to get into this. Apparently the market dumped today because of Trump tweeting on Twitter, apparently. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I didn't get on today. Apparently I missed generational shorts here, but this would have been, I think, a little more discretional for me, but because I'm still new to just the idea of, like, continuations. Even reversals I'm trying to understand. But let's just go back to restart this. Sorry. Alright, actually, yeah, I want to play a video after this, but...
Really not, looking towards that, and instead, I'm going to trade the trend. What are we doing currently? Well, what I saw is that we're respecting bearish, disrespecting bullish, right? We went to this 1 hour gap, obviously rejecting off these highs and that SMT, just continuing this trend. So all I'm really looking for is a short, because why would I be long in a clearly bearish trend? Trend trading is probably the easiest way to skyrocket your win rate on top of everything that I've taught, right? If you've watched the win rate video, that is definitely my best work so far. Combine that with the trend, and genuinely, you can probably push like 90% win rate. But yeah, going into the day, what was I really targeting? Honestly, all of this LR, I'm pretty sure I had this low marked because we had just swept out this 4 hour swing. So I was kind of expecting a run on this easy sell side. So if I'm targeting external targets, yeah, we did sweeping that low. So if I'm targeting external liquidity, ERL, what do I need? I need internal liquidity in the form of a fair value gap, preferably being the high time frame. And we get that perfectly with the 15 minutes. So remember, this is a 4 hour low, and we are now entering high time frame internal range liquidity. That's perfect, right? High time frame ERL from high time frame IRL. That's exactly what you want. And then what else can we stack on top? Well, we have low resistance and a PO3. So this is going to be a lesson on stacking PO3.
PO3, I could show you a video on that. You could look up a video on that. It is I'm trying to learn it because it's a very simple thing, and it's a very good thing to understand. Like equilibrium, like you have premium and discount, right? And on your Fibonacci, right? You can get that on there. But also time. Time is so fucking... My buddy put me onto this, but here.
I am making a model video, so I'll be defining this in a little bit anyway. But what does the 1030 PO3 do? Well, 1030 edges this liquidity pool below us, so we open like this, and then we generate LR.
When he's saying 1030, for me it'd be 930.
But the important part after this is the relationship of two high time frame candles. So after we generate this LR, what do? Well, we open 1045. So we're now stacking a PO3. Notice how we are above opening price right here. And what I mean by...
So see how we're generating through here? Generating by sell side liquidity. We're generating just low resistance right here, right? And we're making high resistance, not a failure swing high. This is a failure swing low, another failure swing low right here. This one's obviously taking it out, but you'll see that in a second. And what are we doing too? We're setting conditions with like higher time frame is bearish. We're going from external, we've already swept lows. We're wanting to see him to continue lower because the higher time frame is bearish. I want to see into all those draws. Like I said, I'm gonna get out of here for a second. I'm gonna really break this down. For all these draws, which are just what? Rested all throughout here. All this low resistance I was talking about last night. Right? So we're going for that. And in order to go for that, we would want to see a move to internal range, which is, like I said, fair value gaps. After big distribution down or up, you could look for internal range, which would be those fair value gaps, right? 15-minute, 30-minute. And then you would want to see the move to go lower, that continuation, trading with the trend, and why he's saying trend is your friend. To understand this too, what are we doing? We're accumulating. We're not going to talk about Po3 just yet. He will talk about that. But what are we doing? For like a PDI, we're accumulating, and we're consolidating. Yeah, in an uptrend basically, but what are we doing? We're generating sell side while making high resistance for like an area in our stop loss, and targeting and tapping into a 15-minute. Wanting to see it get respected because the higher time frame is bearish. See, now I'm adding all this shit up as logic, right? And he'll go into this.
Opening price is essentially where that high time frame candle opened. Anything above that opening price is a premium for time. Anything below that is a discount for time. So now we're in a time premium, and then 10:45 opens right here. I'll show it, and then we push premium again. So we've now stacked 2 time premiums on top of each other. This is what stacking PO3s is. If I move this candle over here, we go to the 15-minute candle. What does it happen, right? What happens over here? Well, we open, run above, and then go lower, right? This is perfect. This is exactly what I'm wanting. So high time frame, we're in a bearish trend. We have external liquidity to target. We now have internal liquidity in the form of a high time frame fair value gap to distribute us there, right? Then what is the low time frame doing? Well, low time frame is generating low resistance liquidity leading up to that high time frame DOL. It's probably the easiest way to make sure that you're on the winning side of the market every single time. Printing high resistance up here with the
Hold on. Give it 1 minute. Well, actually, let's go to the 15-minute. Assuming, yeah, right around here. $15-minute. So what do we see? We sweep out coming into market open, right? We sweep in out sell side that here was already swept. The sell side here, sell side here. We sweep out that sell side. We went external. We want to see, like I said, higher time frame is still bearish. So we want to see us come down to here. All these low resistance draws and liquidity here, right? And we just keep disrespecting this area too. Even if you add in, oh, well, Trump spoke today, it's like understanding, like, still, that's moving the market's bearish, right? And we have that daily that we keep not tapping into. Next time we tap into it, it's either going to reject us lower or we're going to inverse it and go right back higher, right? We don't know for sure. But we can go into the 1 minute after, like I said, we're pushing lower. We sweep out on the 1 hour sell side liquidity. We can look for like session lows too. Is there any session lows? I'm assuming we swept out the Asian session lows. Yeah, we did sweep out the Asian session lows. All right, beautiful. So then what are we looking at? We want to see a retrace. I'm going to just even go back a little more. I'll retrace into this 15-minute. So I'm going to go back, start new. Retrace into this 15-minute. We can go down into the 5-minute, and we can go down into the 2-minute or the 1 minute, which he was looking at the 1 minute. Making high resistance. What do we have? Failure swing low is just resting right here. We'll keep letting this play out. We tap into that 5-minute. Ooh. What are we seeing? What would we be looking for then too? An inversion. I'm assuming. Maybe it'd probably be on like a lower time frame. Oh, fuck, I didn't mean to pause it. Holy shit. I want to see how he entered. It's probably on the lower time frames, I'm assuming. So let's go back to this video then.
Of a time premium or a time discount given the scenario. Obviously stacking all these lows leading up to that gap. This setup was so free. I can show you all the executions right here. I didn't go for the full
It was
range,
a 30.
but it was genuinely so obvious, right? We ran into here. We did get this first inverse. I faded this simply because of discretion. I've traded inversions for a long time. I kind of hate like ripping up and then ripping out. Like it didn't really like it. 10:45 was opened right here, and I just didn't really like how that PO3 played out. I really did just see this as a fake out. And the only way I would know that is through my years of experience, right? But then we get this extra re-sweep into that CE of the gap. Notice how all the wicks and the candles or the candle bodies are respecting this imbalance,
CE
right?
is consequent encroachment, and that's the middle I like call like 50% of the fair value gap.
Dump lower. We did get the inversion right here, but I was still waiting, right? This is at 10:45 on a Friday, so I'm not really pushing my luck. I'm rather going to wait for my conviction to step in and me actually get that trade, right? So we had this wick up. We closed below this candle body right here, so a low time frame change in the state, and I'm like, this is 100% going to play out. And notice I didn't even target the full range. I went pretty heavy in this, so I got like all of my bread simply off of this move. But I didn't need all of this LR, right? I got my piece of the pie and I got out of the market, and that's probably the best thing that I want y'all to do as well. I think I got like 1.5 RR here. We can actually.
That's the thing too. I'm gonna get into when targeting like smaller RRs. Like I said, he took a 30-second. I don't know if I can get the 30-second on here. Oh, I have the essential plan. I don't need the premium. Nice. Okay, cool. I wonder if Top Step actually. Top Step allowed a 30-second. Nope, not this compare symbol. Oh my god, it does. This is that area. Nice, it's easy to find. He didn't take the, so like I said, we had that 15-minute we were coming into. He didn't take this. Let's move this, let's actually just go full screen. We'll go into the 15-minute real quick, actually, just to mark it up here. Dun, 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 dun. Do I not have my, what the fuck? What color is my rectangle going to be then? Oh, it's white. Okay, perfect. Look at that 15-minute. Can I not? Bro, that's so stupid. Why is the text that color? 15. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's on the top of it. I want it in the middle. Inside. So we have this 15-minute gap after sweeping that sell side. Sorry about that. Like I said, I've never thought of trading this way. But then understanding, like, inserting Po3. So there's confluences to it. And this is why you don't pattern trade. There's confluences to it. And obviously, like I said, we're not having to, we have the higher time for narrative that we want to go lower, but we don't need to hold to that draw on liquidity. You can just catch your small piece of the pie. Well, we have, I would like to actually have the middle of that line put in there. Style, middle line, make it white. Yeah. Hit consequent encroachment of this 15-minute. Like I said, I probably would have taken this if I was comfortable taking the 30-second. Because like I said, I don't like to go out lower than the 1 minute, but with time, I want to get to that point. With just trusting that. See the 30-second inversion, he didn't take this, right? We have the fair value gap right here. He didn't take this because he wanted to, and we've already tapped the consequent encroachment, but he doesn't like when price just comes in for like a continuation or when we come out of fair value gaps. He wants to see price come back into it, resweep these highs. Because now what do you have? You have high resistance, right? And this idea of like, yeah, well, this swept out that high. That is true, but it's just for him personally, like I said, you build discretion over years. It's your market experience, and I'll play a video on that after this. But he comes in, taps right out, gives the inversion he wanted to see. Either fades it or looks for a different entry, or he wanted to see it come higher to then take what? And I will mark this up. Would that be an inversion? Was it that one? I'm assuming it was that one. Yeah, there's a small gap between those. You could then go Holy shit. And target either like 30-second lows. You could target low here. I mean, literally this first low is a 1 to 1.5, right? Or you can go into the 1 minute. I don't think there's any 1 minute fair value gap, so you could target 1 minute lows down here. 1 to 1.69. We'll see what he targeted actually in the video.
Go ahead and check. Going on the 30-second right here. I'm pretty sure it was. My entry was right there. Stop loss right there. And then I TP'd somewhere around like 50. Yeah, somewhere around here. Yeah, so I got like 1.5 RR, give or take. Very, very good trade. I want y'all to pay attention to the stacking of the PO3 the most in this scenario. Obviously, the trend trade, right? You might say like, oh, Ronan, there's LR above you. Why are you shorting that? This LR is irrelevant after we print high resistance. And given the trend as well, and that we're targeting.
Interesting. The LR is irrelevant. So maybe you're in a trade, you want to say continuation or reversal. We have so much LR right here, like past, but we're making high resistance to go in that direction, the opposite direction, right?
LR.
In front of you. Let's say you're looking for lawns, and we swept sell side, but you have a bunch of LR resting above you. No, you have a bunch of LR resting below you, but as of right now, below us, with the price action we're creating, let's say we're pushing lower and lower, we're creating high resistance, and then we also have low resistance resting above, and the higher time frame, right?
Aligns with the high time frame narrative.
What he just said, dude. Like what he just said, you have to align this stuff. You have to be have a little bit of discretion with it.
LR above. So very, very good trade. And yeah, that's literally it. Like this is how simple trading can be, right? You go on the high time frame. What are we doing? Well, we're rejecting that. Oh my god, why is it lagging? We're rejecting these highs. We put in that SMT. Then you go a little bit lower. Okay, well now we have that rejection with a bearish SMT, and now we're respecting bearish PDAs, right? That's perfect. Now everything's starting to align from the highest time frame to a little bit of a lower time frame on the 1 hour. Then you go to the 15 minute. Now all you're looking for again is that same pattern, right? Respecting bearish, disrespecting bullish, and that's what you get in the form of your inversion paired with all this LR leading up to this high time frame sell side. And we did end up running all of this other stuff as well. I just didn't want to mark this out because, you know, the closest one was there, but you could argue, yeah, like this 4-hour swing and this 4-hour swing is the better DOL, which I would agree with. Just in the moment, you know, I was just going for this one, and even then, you know, I still took, you know, low hanging fruit. So we did end up running to these higher time frame DOLs, but definitely a very, very good trade. I will actually show y'all ES as well, and I had that marked right this 4-hour low. What I noticed on ES is we did the same thing, right? We create that swing, we edge liquidity, build low resistance, retrace into a high time frame internal range liquidity point, and then dump, right? Trading can be this simple. Notice how all of my recaps maybe take 5 minutes on average. This will probably be a little bit longer because like I'm just like dumping sauce, but trading can be this simple. Trade the trend, trade the PO3, stack them on top of each other, combine low resistance with high resistance, leading up to that high time frame DOL, and I promise you, your trading will fucking skyrocket into what you couldn't even imagine it becoming before.
Nice, right? Isn't that cool? Like I said, Bionic NQ, great account. Great fucking dude. I just love the way he simplifies stuff. Like I said in the Discord, if I ever have a question, you know, or I've noticed if anybody else has a question, he'll go so deep in on it until you understand. He'll not just give you an answer and then hope you understand it and then never respond. He will go as deep as possible. Like I said, just target that low hanging fruit, right? And he said he targeted what, the 50%? And that thing did end up running for what? Probably 7 RR. Oh, 10. Right? It's probably the trade my buddy took today. My buddy just passed his account. He probably took like a 1-minute break. Yeah, because the 5-minute would have been terrible. Could have taken like a 1-minute break of structure off of this. And And that's still, like I said, you could target it at a 1-to-1. Basically a 1-to-1 right there. That could have been something out of the 15-minute right, 15-minute consequent encroachment, generating low resistance. Beautiful. That'd have been absolutely beautiful. Where I used to look at price where it's just like, oh, we tap into 15-minute. I'm not really worried about this. I just need to look for like a low to break structure on, and that's it. Like, or you could look on the lower time frames. Obviously, add it in the Po3. Obviously, add into the higher time frame. Right, we're bearish. Obviously, add in that we respected. No, we've swept out sell side and we respected this 1 hour gap. Right. After getting this big move down, we respected this 1 hour gap. We have gotten a 1 hour break of structure bearish. And instead of just like, okay, well, I'm assuming we'll want to continue lower, we can wait for like a 15-minute. This is just like, it's not stuff that I used to think about. I used to just kind of sit here like a fucking robot, took it too literally and thought like, just wait for this confluence and this confluence, pattern trading, right? Terrible. Now it's just like, understand, okay, well, we want to go lower, you have to build logic, right? I've talked about this last couple days, I'm going to say it again. Why does the market move? To rebalance inefficiencies, seek liquidity, and rebalance equilibrium. Well, at this point, we're delivering from here. We're delivering from buy side, I'm assuming. We're coming lower. We're respecting bearish PD arrays, meaning we're talking more bearish. We are getting 1 hour break of structures bearish, which is confirming bearish order flow, right? We're probably going what? I don't see a lot of imbalances resting here, but we're probably going for these relative equal lows, or resting equal, relative equal lows, and all these low resistance down here in the fair value gap in the daily down here. That's probably my draws for the day, especially because it's not just because they look sexier, but what is price doing? Well, it's respecting a bearish value gap. We're delivering from buy side. We're either targeting that or we're seeking liquidity, right? We're either seeking liquidity lower or we're trying to rebalance inefficiencies lower, like this 1 hour and daily. And a good thing we can target that into that with, hey, we have a bunch of low resistance resting here as well. Okay, so then you will get in, you see we have delivered swept liquidity sell side. Now I want to see it move higher to go lower because of the higher time frame, and it's still bearish, right? And then you see, oh, we have a 15-minute fair value gap. Oh, we retrace into it. Normally I would sit on the 5-minute, wait for the 5-minute tap into it, then a 5-minute break, but the break would be down here. Where would my stop loss go? And then I get a terrible RR. Well, you could go on to the lower time frames. Obviously, if you add in PO3 too, that helps. But the lower time frames too. All right, well, we already have the higher time frame narrative, right? We have that trend, we have that logic. We've set our conditions. If the 15-minute gets tapped into and can respect it, I want to see us deliver lower, especially with the higher time frames, right? That 1 hour could be your high time frame key level in your condition, the fact that we respect that. And we got, coming into the day, that was at 9, a 1 hour break of structure lower, right? Clearly pushing more bearish. And like I said, with all the low resistance, so then you could look into the lower time frames and start just adding up the logic, right? You're making an assumption we want to go lower. We need the lower time frame to give us an execution. Oh, what do we see? Perfect accumulation, making high resistance at our stop loss. Keep sweeping out the highs. Yeah, we have a bunch of low resistance resting up here and low resistance resting up here because these are failure swing highs. But that's irrelevant because we're making high resistance right now on top of that higher time frame narrative, and it adds into that story. It adds to the logic of it. And we're generating sell side liquidity, which is very low resistance in target. And like I said, we don't need the biggest moves. You could play in with bigger moves, right? And you could get good entries, or you could just wait, right? You could take in a 30-second inversion or a 1-minute break of structure, something like that, and you just wait. And you wait for it, and it can happen, and then you're in, right? And that's absolutely beautiful. What is this? We're kind of generating sell side. We're manipulating higher. We've manipulated into the 15-minute, right? Did we sweep out any highs on the 5-minute? No. 3-minute? We're really just like, we are manipulating higher. And then to that 15-minute, we hit consequent encroachment on that 15-minute. Like I said, small piece of the pie. You could literally just target the 1-minute low down here. You could maybe go break even here, and you would have been fine. But is that really going to change the direction of this trade with a higher time frame trend? No. And I made a video about that last night. How when a lot of people who stay break-even traders, and this is what I'm trying to get out of, are traders who go break-even at a point where price could, it could reverse, but it's not it just feels safe to them. It's an emotional break-even, right? Where price could go back. And what if is this going to really reverse the whole move? You got to think of that too. Is this going to reverse the whole move, sweeping out this 1-minute low? I don't think so, right? And it's not a good RR. So maybe I just wait for either just the 1-to-1 and get out there, right? Or once this gets hit, then yeah, maybe we could do it. Is there a 5-minute fair value gap? There's no fair value gaps either, I don't think, that are stopping us from going higher. Like, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. So it's just in one of those things where maybe you don't even need to break even with this trade, right? Maybe you want to have break even, and maybe you put it like right down here once we sweep this low. I mean, like I said, terrible RR. Terrible. At least you could get a 1-to-1 holding it to here. And boom. Or you could have held it all the way down to this range with the 1.6. 1 to 1.6. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And I want to actually add in any rejection blocks. Actually, 1 hour. Was there a rejection block up there? There fucking was, bro. I don't understand rejection blocks too well. I don't know how you really use them, but I know Powell does, and that's ridiculous. I'm going to look up Po3. Holy fuck, that is not the right one. Candles. That one's locked. I want to know recession open high low. Is this it? What the fuck does that indicator show? I'm getting rid of that. Hold on, I'm gonna pause this. Yeah, overall, if you want to watch Po3 videos or try to implement that, I would. I plan on doing that as well. But that would have been really the trade that I would have saw today. We could go to the Discord and see if there's anything else going on. 1%. No trades. I did not trade today. 32% won.
So yeah, I just uploaded pretty much the whole recap on that. But so we had a SMT with previous day high. Oh shit. SMT with previous day high. We started displacing lower, disrespecting bullish, respecting bearish. We had pretty much equal lows from yesterday's Asia lows, right? Those previous day lows.
That's so sick because that's exactly what I was thinking. Like I said, why are we bearish? We had S&T up here with those highs, right? We're respecting bearish PD arrays, disrespecting bullish PD arrays. Pushing bearish, obviously. Relative equal lows from yesterday's Asia session lows, which is right here. I can mark this up, and you will see what? Asian session lows, ball knowledge. You can go back and listen to more.
And then EX also had perfect 4-hour equal lows, and we were just displacing towards that. So again, new day opening gaps and draws like that don't matter unless we hit a key level and we start displacing towards that. Did we hit any key level on the 15-minute time frame or above and started displacing towards the new day opening gap? No. So there's no reason to be bullish towards there because, again, price is not showing us that.
So a lot of people would probably sit there and be like, oh, we need to go for this daily up here. They're probably thinking coming into the day, like, this daily needs to be hit, and we just got close to and rejecting. I want to see a move off of like a PD array to go higher. So, and then even then, they're like, oh, we need to go higher. We want to, there's no way we want to avoid that daily. But understand, did we hit any key level coming in after we swept these lows? No, we're probably not want to go higher, especially because of what? We're respecting bearish PD arrays, disrespecting bullish PD arrays. Price is telling us we want to go lower. So adding that logic and that context into lower time frames and seeing what? Well, I want to see then a move into internal range to go to external. IRL to ERL. Holy shit, I can't speak. IRL to ERL. And I have a video on that. Ronin, that's what Ronin trades. Continuations mainly. IRL to ERL, and then what do we see on the lower time frame? Well, we can see what lower time frame structure is telling us. Oh, what do we see here? We're making high resistance up to this point, right? We're going to go to the 1 minute again, and I'm going to just talk it over one more time. What do we see? Moving higher, 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 making high resistance. We have low resistance up here, but we're making high resistance right now. And the higher time frame trend is telling us we want to go lower. So this is irrelevant. It takes discretion, right? You don't know this stuff, and this is why you take this shit in and you journal it, you learn from it. What do we see? We move lower. We're sweeping out all this low resistance liquidity, and all you need is a small piece of the pie. Just take your 1 to 1, 1 to 2, and be done, right? Beautiful. And that's exactly, I think, what Blake targeted today as well.
It wants to go there. Price is showing us that it wants to go lower, right? So that's why the draw was lower today. And yeah.
Beautiful. Just didn't see the retest of the 15-minute. Damn. I've noticed that December price action, I think going into it next year, I'm gonna keep in mind of this. Obviously, hopefully I remember, and I want to. But in December price action, a lot of these trades that I am seeing are happening later in the day, right? Mainly 9:30, 9:33. Today it would have been at like, what time would have that entry been? 9:51, later in the day. And obviously, price isn't really choppy. I mean, we finally broke out of that range. We were breaking out of that range that we were in on that 4 hour. So higher time frame, I wouldn't say it's choppy because we've been in this freaking range and now we are finally breaking out of it. Beautiful. Probably to go fucking higher. I mean, shit. I mean, yeah. Beautiful. I will get this into my journal. Other than that, I'm just going to be watching watt material. So, yeah, I'll get that put into the journal. I'll get everything situated, and I'll get this uploaded. And hopefully you understand the recap for the trade that I could have been taking today. And understand, too, learn Po3. I will be doing that as well. Peace.